Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my DVD collection, my movie collection, my Blu-ray collection. This is John Christie. Very first film in my DVD Blu-ray collection, of course, is going to be Ghost Rider with Ewan McGregor and Pierce Brosnan, an espionage thriller from director Roman Polanski and writer Jean Le Carré. John Carpenter's original Assault on Precinct 13 is his next one. A classic. Sort of a western set in the 1980s. John Travolta's version of Gotti is the third film. With his wife, who just died just a couple of months ago. It's not a bad movie. Directed by Kevin Connolly, the guy from Entourage. Next is another retelling of Shakespeare's Macbeth with Michael Fassbender and Marion Cotillard called Macbeth. Next is another Michael Fassbender film as a gladiator kind of film where he and a couple of men are going against cannibals in the movie Centurion, right there, with Dominic West and a whole bunch of other good actors. And okay, of course, James Bond's Bond girl, Olga Kurylenko, is in this. Next, we got one of Pierce Brosnan's last outing as James Bond, Die Another Day with Halle Berry. Not a bad flick. Next, we got, what's his name? The actor from Shocker, Peter Berg. He's in Collateral and he directed Friday Night Lights. The Kingdom with Jason Bateman, Jennifer Garner, and of course the decent Jamie Foxx. UK's version to The Wolf of Wall Street, The Riot Club, right there, with the actor from The Hunger Games, Sam Claflin, and of course Douglas Booth and Jeremy Irons' son. Next is a decent film set in space, in which Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence are the only two people alive in station. 100 years before everyone else will. It's romantic and it's very well done. Passengers. Next, of course, is one of River Phoenix's most memorable performances. You know, River Phoenix, the late River Phoenix, who's the older brother of Joaquin Phoenix, who died so young, with Sidney Poitier, in a movie called Little Nikita, a thriller. That's not bad. Then, of course, we got one of the few indie films that Francis Ford Coppola made in the 2000s, called Tetro, right here, with Vincent Gallo, and of course, the actor who would become Han Solo in the movie Solo. Alden Henrich is also in this movie. Next is a gangster film with the great Bob Hoskins called The Long Good Friday. It was his acting debut in 1980, his first film. It also features the film debut of Helen Mirren, and of course, the film debut of James Bond, Pierce Brosnan. It's a violent movie. It's a gangster film. Long Good Friday. Next is another. Well, this is a lame horror film. I bought it in the $5 bin, and Walmart wasn't putting out too many good movies because the convoy. So I took a chance on it. Not that good. It's called We Summon the Darkness. I like what's her name, Alexandra Daddario, but Johnny Knoxville is a disappointment. This is not bad. This is pretty cool. You got Forrest Whitaker, Julie Delpy, Brendan Fraser, Andy Garcia, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Emil Hirsch, and Kevin Bacon. Very well done. The Air I Breathe. Brendan Fraser does some good acting in this film. Oh, this is a great film based on a true story about a motorcycle dude who quits drinking, goes to church to get reborn, and then goes to Africa and save young lives from the warlords that try to kill kids in Machine Gun Preacher. It's based on a true story. It's a really good movie. Then, of course, I got this twisted film, love triangle, between Chiwetel Ejiofor, Margot Robbie, and Chris Pine in Z for Zechariah. Right there. Then I got another James Bond movie. This is the third one. He did 4 films, Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. With, what's her name? Christmas Jones. Denise Richards. It's called The World Is Not Enough. It also had the guy from Trainspotting, Robert Carlyle. And, of course, Sophia Marceau. Then you got Jerry and Tom, an independent film made in the late 90s about 2 hitmen living their everyday lives killing people. But it's got a great cast, though. You got Joe Mantegna, you got Sam Rockwell, you got Ted Danson, Charles Durning, William H. Macy, Peter Riegert from The Mask, and Animal House. It's called Jerry and Tom. It's right there. And of course, you got this film based on a true story about famous writers, and one writer who's jealous of another writer and has an obsession with this writer, and this group of writers reject this older writer and ends up killing one of the main writers. It's a tragic story. Disturbing too. It's called Kill Your Darlings. It has a kid from Lawless, Dehan, Daniel Radcliffe of Harry Potter, Ben Foster, Michael C. Hall of Dexter, who plays the obsessed writer who commits a crime, Jack Houston, Danny Houston's son, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Elizabeth Olsen from The Avengers. It's a pretty disturbing movie. I'll be right back. Well, the next movie I got stars Rachel Weisz. It's a film set back in the AD before Christ died. Set in the Roman era, called Agora. It's okay. Next is an Australian film, which I thought did really well. Set in prison, a guy trying to survive prison, with Jack O'Connell from '71, Ben Mendelsohn-John from that new movie that just came out 2 years ago. From Ben Mendelsohn from Lawless, and he's also from oh my God, I can't remember. Anyway, and Rupert Friend, the movie's called Startup. That's a really riveting film set in prison. Another film that I haven't seen, but I want to see it because it has Ryan Reynolds, Willem Dafoe, Emily Watson, Carrie Ann Moss, Hayden Panettiere, Ian Gruffudd, and Julia Roberts. It's called Fireflies in the Garden. It looks like a good movie. This is a good movie. Emily Watson going on her own as an actress, away from Harry Potter image, with the Logan Lerman. The film's called Perks of Being a Wallflower. Right there. That looks like a good movie. Then, of course, it's Stephen Dorff doing an independent film playing a guy named Wheeler, a country singer, trying to make it on his own, surviving booze, and trying to raise a kid. The movie's called Wheeler. Independent film. This came out last year, when the whole... some movies that come out that you don't really see in the movie theater. It's one of them. Then of course another directing film from Robert Duvall. You either hate him as a director or you like him as a director. Assassination Tango from the early 2000s with Robert Duvall. And of course, I'm trying to see who else is in this. Kathy Baker from Picket Fences. Assassination Tango, right there. Then you got a classic from the 80s from S.E. Hinton, the author of The Outsiders and Rumblefish. I liked it. Very well done. And it has Matt Dillon, Jim Metzler, Emilio Estevez, Meg Tilly. The film is called Tex. A classic 80s film. Here's another independent film. I've seen only half of it because it was late night and I was falling asleep. But Liam Neeson plays a hitman who's his nerves got to him and he can't kill anyone. And it has Liam Neeson, Oliver Platt, Sandra Bullock. Yes, Sandra Bullock's in this movie. Rachel Schiff, Matthew McConaughey, Mitch Pileggi of Shocker fame, Jose Sunic of Con Air. It's got a whole bunch of great casts. The movie's called Gunshy. And this came out after she did Speed. Okay, this is not a bad movie, even though, if it wasn't for Andy Garcia or Sofia Vergara or Carl Urban, I don't think I would have bought this movie. But, it's not bad for a B movie. It's called Bent, with Sofia Vergara, Andy Garcia, and Carl Urban of Dread fame. It's about corruption. Police corruption. Another film, I haven't seen this one yet, but I picked it up because I've done much to buy, like 5 years ago at HMB. But it has a good cast, I thought, why not? It had Rory Culkin, one of the Culkin brothers, Eddie Redmayne, from The Danish Girl, Chloe Grace Moretz, from It Girl from Kick-Ass, Blake Lively, who we all know from Shallows, Juliette Lewis, and Alec Baldwin. It's called Hick. Right there. And lastly, another film I bought a long time ago, 10 years ago, at Rogers Video, Jesus' Son, which isn't a bad film. I've seen it on Showcase and TV a lot. It has Billy Crudup, Samantha Morton, Dennis Leary, Dennis Hopper, Holly Hunter, Jack Black. So it's not a bad movie. It's a slice of life film. The ending is not to be desired, It's one of those endings that it doesn't end. It's a good movie. Anyway, I'll continue more with my movies in the next video.